Right.
Man, we are live. What's the word with you, man?
Man, I'm just in here. It's another manic Monday. You know what I'm saying? This weekend was pretty good and stuff like that. Had real fun out here. And like my last topic, I was talking about like dancing with females and things like that in the club. How we kind of gotten away from that and stuff like that. And got to rein that back in, because the club is just looking real weird right now. You know what I'm saying? I see you be in the club. I mean, you go to a few spots, enjoy yourself too, and it's just it don't look right. You know what I'm saying? From the outside looking in. So it's like we got to change that. So, but yeah, we talking about a real important topic today. It's about getting out of, is it relationships or just whatever situation you in?
Well, I mean, could it apply to everything?
Yeah.
But the initial intention is, when is it time for a man to leave? We kind of briefly talked about it a little bit. I basically say, if you picked her, you got to stay with her.
If you picked her, you got to stay with her.
But with certain caveats.
Like let me ask you this. Like, so you mean like marriage or relationship?
So, as anybody that watches my content knows, I'm biblically centered. So, if you go to make that move and you lay with a woman, that comes with certain things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that just laying with her is marriage, because I don't think that's what the biblical perspective is. But I think you do have to watch who you lay with, because I think that creates a certain bond, and that could be very destructive if you don't have good intentions. But ultimately, I think you should give a certain period of time before you deal with her, so you can make sure she's not crazy.
Right.
Or even just that you're a good match with her.
And that's one thing we lack, you know what I'm saying? We see a female with a fat ass, you know what I'm saying? We like, yo, I gotta get that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I gotta get that. And you don't know what's going on, because I know like some really beautiful girls that I have dealt with, and then once all of the all that kind of dies down, you kind of sit down with her and have a conversation, and you find out like family history, and she been abused and things like that, and all that is into play. But you if you don't take the time to get to know her,
right,
you would never know those things. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind's just like, oh, I got to get with a woo woo, and like you said, that could breed craziness. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Now here's my question. Boom, you're with her. Let's say I don't, maybe we could do both scenarios, but let's start like this. Let's say you're not in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
Right? What would your perspective be? Let's say it starts going south. What would you think is the appropriate thing to do?
If it start going south, like exit strategy. I'll be honest with you. Like, it's too. It's only so much you can deal with. But here's the thing. Like, and that's what I said, talk about past, and I'm gonna go back to what you were getting at. But like, if she has something like her past relationship where her man like kind of abused her, like she gonna carry that into the new relationship. So I mean, you gotta try to find those things early. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So let's say you've been with her 2 years.
Oh, okay.
It's going south. She trying to hit you with pots and bottles. What you think?
Toxic relationship.
Toxic. I guess I hate that term, but toxic.
Toxic relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how. We said like 2 years. I mean, in 2 years, y'all did a lot together. Y'all have done a lot. Y'all have been romantically, sexually, and all that stuff. So, I mean, if you really love her, you might try to find ways for y'all to stay together, like maybe counseling or something. But see, that's one thing that we don't get to. We don't get to counsel. We want to talk to our friends, our family, our brother. So it's not real counseling. You know what I'm saying? To get the right advice. So advice. So, but I think if you really love her, you really care for her, if it's kids, involved in that, you maybe should try to work it out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. All of my friends in my close orientation, I try my best to pick people who, when I'm complaining about my wife, they're like, "Shut up, man. Go back to your wife." That's the kind of friends that and my wife is like that too. She has people that are like, "All right, I listen to you complain. I go back to your husband." So I think that's an important dynamic. Kind of, taking off what you were just getting at, like complaining to your brothers and things like this. It is good to have some therapy. Me and my wife, we're in a good place, but we kind of still do talk about.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. Okay, so let's say if I'm your homie and you come to me and you ask me for advice, the advice I'm gonna give you is gonna be catered to you. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, yeah, you might be right. I'm not really, what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you advice that's makes it feel like you might be in the right. Oh,
it's biased.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of biased. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why. Have you ever been to counseling?
Yeah, I've been. Yeah.
Okay, so being a counselor, I've been a counselor when I was divorced. I only went one time. I should have made a routine, but it was an outlook that I've never seen before because you got somebody on the outside looking in, and she don't have no skin in the game. He or she don't have no skin in the game, and they're able to give you advice that somebody else wouldn't give you. Yeah, you are in the wrong. Yeah, you did mess up. Because let's go back to toxic. You know what I'm saying? How did that person get to a point where it's toxic? You know what I'm saying? Was it you? Was it a prior relationship? Is something that you did? Did you go outside and cheat? And we're gonna talk about cheating and stuff like that, man, because it's crazy. But what got her or what got her to that point where now she's toxic? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Throwing pots and pans.
Yeah. I think that it has to be in you to throw pots and pans. And I think it has to be not just even on the female side. I'm using that to say, I think like some people, they'll never bug up. They'll just leave because that's in them. You know what I'm saying? Or they've taught themselves that.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can make someone crazy. I think that you can bring the crazy out of a person.
Right. Okay.
But I don't think
it was always there.
It was already there.
Yep.
Right.
I get that. I definitely get that. But yeah, and that's what I said. Like, what did you do to bring that craziness out of somebody? It's like that episode or that thing snapped. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, damn, she snapped. But if you watch any of the episodes,
it was always a build up.
It was always a build up.
It wasn't like it was 2 years. It was 12 years.
Right. It was always a build up. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. It's always you throwing the pots and pans. What got that person to that point where they're throwing pots and pans? You know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure.
Right now. That's why we're gonna get to the topic of when is the perfect time to leave. So, but right now, I feel like knowing myself, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, because I'm not doing all the things that a female want me to do. She probably will reach that snap point way quicker with me, because I know that I don't have what it takes right now to be in a relationship. Not mean I'm gonna go out here and cheat. I'm not saying like I'm a cheater and I'm gonna do all this and I'm gonna do all that. But even just like picking up, it's the small things. You give me a list, unless you write that down, be like, give me this. I'm gonna come home with 3 out of the 4 things.
Absolutely.
And that really is that's important.
Yeah.
We look at it, to me, it's like, oh, no, I just missed one thing. No, but for females, it's really important because it shows you're listening. It shows that you engage what they're talking about. They might be like, oh, give me a grape soda. I come home with a strawberry soda.
Yeah. And you know what? I ain't gonna hold you. I do that all the time. My wife, twice last week, my wife was like, listen, don't eat this. And I just forgot, bro.
Just forgot. You know what I'm saying? And then, it's not nothing that sometimes, and like I said, sometimes it's not intentionally, but it's so much stuff that's going on in a guy's head and this swirl in my head that those little small details get pushed out first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But those things are important. Leaving the toilet seat up, that's one thing. Living with a female, you have to understand what their pet peeves are and really have to work on that. You have to be willing to change yourself a little bit to adjust. Okay, here you are. Here she is. You got to come and adjust yourself to their needs a little bit. And Absolutely. If you're not willing to do that, that's what's going to bring the craziness out in that person because you're constantly doing things that are nagging them.
And you know what? I can speak to that, especially from, because, I'm in the biblical community, right? You see that a lot. A lot of brothers feel like, I'm the man, you adjust to me, be quiet. And it's not the case, man. The scripture, though, you can't get anybody, you need your wife to do something for you. Maybe that's staying home. Maybe that's your relationship that you're trying to get with your wife. If she's doing that, you cannot dominate. She has to have some leeway, man. You know what I mean? You cannot strong arm women, man. You cannot do it. Anybody that has dealt with women for real, most women, you strong, they just gonna do whatever you tell them not to do.
Right.
That's just the long and the short of it, man. You cannot bully her. She's gonna do whatever you tell her not to do, especially in our community. Our women ain't like other women.
Yeah. I get that.
Man, listen. And I just think it's important. Like you have to. Speaking to what you were saying, you have to. It's give and take in a relationship, man. If you're not ready for if you're ready for the take but not to give, or even if you're too ready to give and not to take, it could be a bad situation, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I was watching like The Honeymooners yesterday. It's like an old show. If y'all have never seen The Honeymooners, it's crazy because like that's exactly, he's like in control. I'm king of the castle. That's how I was back in the 56. I'm king of the castle. And he even tells his wife, you're the third deck on ship. You don't even try to even kind of run nothing in this house. It's all about me. I lead, you follow. You feel what I'm saying? And nowadays we're in a generation where women, they like, yeah, I want to follow. I don't want to follow. I want to lead sometimes. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's the structure is kind of thrown off a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But reining in to like the topic we're talking about is when is it appropriate to leave? Like the generations before us, they were told to stick it out. To be there to death do us part. You know what I'm saying? Our grandparents, stuff like that. But I don't necessarily see that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
You don't see people doing that, or you don't think that that's the right way anymore?
No, I think it should be the right way, but I'm just saying people are so quick to be like, I'm out, get a divorce. You know what I'm saying? And jump out of a relationship.
I think society has just made everything too simple, too easy. And I think it's a lack of fathers, man. I think a lot of, because, so they say 70% of divorces are initiated by women. And I think we, right now in this world today, we're experiencing a lack of fatherhood. And we think about it from oftentimes the angle of discipline in the house, but how can you love a man and you never experienced a man from a fatherhood perspective?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you have patience? You never had patience for your father.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And even on the man's side, a lot of men, I grew up with my dad. My dad was very strict, and it kind of bred a certain level of discipline in me that I think a lot of brothers who don't have a dad, they didn't get some of that male discipline. And I'll say that like this: I was just talking to my wife the other day. She was saying she loves, the idea of the way I deal with the household because it makes her able to feel more feminine. And we were just kind of having a conversation.
Wow.
And I get to think about, like, what does that mean for a man? The better a woman will treat a man, the more masculine he's going to feel. Okay. And when you're in your masculinity, it makes you want other women.
Right.
And I think unless you have that certain youth discipline, you're not going to know how to curve that and say, okay, well, let me chill out on that, Yeah. But I think a lot of it, like I was saying, is a lack of discipline and a general lack of fatherhood, especially in our community, man.
Yeah, because we don't want to take that role, because that role it's tough.
Right.
It's tough, and that's why you see a lot of people get gray hairs and stuff like that real early in life because it's tough. You're always thinking of how you can better your family or what you can do for your family and things like that. A man has a lot of stress, you know what I'm saying? Because he's thinking about the wife, he's thinking about the kids, he's thinking about himself, and it's really stressful. And a lot of guys they just drop out of that role. Like I don't want to take this on. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? Too much.
It's a lot, man.
It's a lot.
It's not for the faint of heart, man. It really isn't, because kids are disrespectful. And kids get to get in a certain type of way, and it makes you feel like, oh my God, these people do not care about me at all, even a little bit. Right. And as a father, as a husband, you kind of do have those feelings on occasion where it's like, I could just leave. It's fine. They don't care about me. It's easy to leave. But like I was saying, you got to have that certain discipline, and that's just emotional. You feel like that in the moment, but the reality is it's not true. Right. They care about you. Right. And sometimes we just have to learn how to curve that and deal with that, I think. discipline, and that's just emotion.
Just making sure the sounds right. Sounds really good.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. So I on the topic of when is the appropriate time to leave, like say this weekend I seen like somebody's girl like come on to somebody and in the club. I was like, man, that's the worst. That's the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but you know, you're in the club, you drinking, you having fun. You know, sometimes it's kind of hard to control your liquor and all types of emotions that might come out that's not supposed to come out and stuff like that. And it kind of broke my, I ain't gonna say it broke my heart, but I was like, man.
But
like,
it is heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking because that guy, like he needs to, but he don't know. But I mean, if he knew, it might be time to leave. You know what I'm saying? It might be time to leave.
I could agree with that. It's time to leave. You talking to somebody? He was there?
He wasn't there.
Oh, he wasn't there.
Okay. And I don't want to tell him, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get him up.
Snitch. Tell him.
Let me see. Emmy said, I say if you can't properly lead her, then expeditiously leave.
And you know what I fall into every time I hear that? As a man, I get selfish. I get defensive. Like, why is it always about the man leading? And it's so stupid because that's the flesh, right? That's the innate defense of wanting to just be right. But it is true. Men do have to be able to lead. I get that completely 100%. But
right.
You cannot lead a woman that doesn't want to be led. You just gave a great example of a man who wasn't with his woman. He trusted her, and she went out and did what she did. Right. Instead of saying, you know, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like, you know, I would like somebody else. Going to her person and saying what she feels like, she did that instead.
Right.
And from my perspective, a lot of the time is the man is at work too much, or you know, something like this. He can't fully dedicate what she would like because he's always doing the things he's supposed to do as a man, which is what most women would want. Right. Which is why being a dad and a husband is so hard, because at the end of the day, you're forced to either be tired and do it all, which a lot of men, they fall into that, right? Right. Or you do what you have to do and understand that everybody's being emotional, then your family falls apart.
Right. Because like, I know from my experience, like I was given warning signs, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that just happened. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Either I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that, I'm tired of this, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, even like we takes her back to like bringing stuff home from the grocery store. You start missing those signs, and you know what I'm saying, because you're so comfortable. She ain't gonna leave me. She will, but she telling you, she basically telling you, giving you warning signs, like, man, you ain't doing this, and you're not taking heed to what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, all those things that in her mind she's gonna eventually play it. It's gonna play out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I always go back to this. It's strength in numbers. Like a lot of females take, you know, if one female doing something, you know, that's different. But when 10 to 15, her friends, she see her friends cheating. You know what I'm saying? Because we live in that society. Oh yeah. You feel what I'm saying? She see 10 of, oh, you cheated. Oh, you did this, and she gonna tell, man, I did this and this. So she gonna let her know what happened the weekend before, and now you got 5 or 6 females doing it. She might think it's cool to do it too. You know what I'm saying? Because strength in numbers. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I
remember my first wife. Now the wife I got now is so cold. Let me tell you something about this woman. Man.
Okay.
She ain't like the average piece, man. Right. Yeah, she has that. She has sacrifice, discipline. Yeah. She'll come and talk to me, even if I'm like, man, you be talking crazy to me, man. But she'll come and say it. You know, and she's very patient, man. But my first wife. I remember we was going through our divorce, man. She was cheating, bringing this Negro to my house, man. See? And I looked at her phone. Let me tell you what she had.
Man, don't look at her phone.
I found 2 things. I can't say the first one. It ain't appropriate. We'll get shut down. Right. The other thing was use until you can leave and then leave. Yeah. Her friend said this. Yeah. Wow. Use until you can leave and then leave.
I ain't gonna tell you what I found in my ex-female's phone. Like, man, that shit crushed me. Man.
Like, I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And then they come back home and still want physical interaction with you. It's like, what gross, disgusting person did I marry?
Yeah.
Man.
A phone going into a female's phone, or even female going to a guy's phone, will reveal a lot.
It's
you know what I'm
true,
saying?
man.
And that's why I'm gonna talk about this. It's like people locking their phones because they don't want the other person to find out what's in their phone. But a phone is your life, and it has things in there, has intimate things in there, it's almost like your diary, almost. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we say stick. And if you ask me, I'm gonna say don't go into your female's phone, because you're gonna find some things in there that you're not gonna like.
Oh,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying?
I got my wife's information. I still don't go through it. You know, I pay the bill. I don't go through it. And it ain't even.
And so y'all got that trust. Y'all got that trust.
Right.
So I don't see it as even that, like, okay, she got stuff in here that she don't want you to see or something's hide like that, because it sounds like y'all got that trust from the outside looking in.
For sure.
But if I'm saying like you just dating or you're getting to know somebody or whatever like that, yeah, that ain't the right move.
Yeah.
Brother, that's not the right move to jump into her phone. Because
And you know
the stuff
what?
I seen is just ridiculous.
Oh, for sure. Every time I went through her phone, it was with a woman that said I could go through her phone, and then when I did it and found something, it was like, "Why did you go through my phone?"
Well, you gave me permission to do
I gave
that.
you permission to do it. Now you're trying to use that to throw off the discussion. We definitely finna argue about this.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
ain't finna play with me, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, yeah. Me and my wife, we have a certain level of trust. It's good, man. It's
Yeah.
nice. You
So
know?
let me ask you this: like, when do you think it's appropriate time to leave? Because we still the answer that.
I think I'm gonna give you my honest answer. Y'all gonna be like, this Christian Negro. I think that if you made the choice to lay with her without using discipline to try to figure her out first, and it goes south, I think that if you leave, I'm not gonna tell you not to leave. I think that if you leave, you committed a sin. I think that the Lord would be very unhappy with that. And, you know, that's a person's choice. I'm not going to tell a person to be with somebody they trying to put hands on you or harm you. But it's so important, man, So basically I'm saying, unless you're a woman that's cheating on you, you should probably just try your best to stay. That's my position. I don't think, and especially if there's kids. I think everything in your power, if you gotta sleep in another room, sleep in the basement, if you can afford to get an apartment, I think you should stay. But I'm saying you had to do your due diligence on a person. You cannot, like you were saying, and I've fallen victim. When she got a fatty, it's hard sometimes. You know, but we do have to have that discipline, man. We do have to have discipline, especially in our community, because our communities are falling apart.
Man, like crazy.
And it's because we're seeing fatties, bro. We're seeing them, and we're making choices off. Oh, she must be a good woman because she got a fat. How stupid? How stupid can we be, man, to think like that?
Yeah.
But, so my emphatic position is, if it's within your power to stay, you should stay, unless she's cheating.
Right. Because some of these females got BBLs and stuff like that. It's a fatty, but it's not
real.
It's not real. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're looking at. You look at that superficial, like, or lust or whatever, and that's what you want. But say you don't never know what she went through or what she went through in her past life, and now you sitting here trying to make a relationship. You know what I'm saying? She could have been a stripper before she met you. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that's a bad thing, but I mean, it's stuff that comes with it.
I couldn't date a stripper.
Only
because, and I'm only saying that because I had a brother, I won't say his name, who was with a stripper, and it was bad, bro. Because there's things that come with that a lot of brothers don't know, don't understand. Every week it was a new rumor. She was in the back with this guy. She was doing this with this guy. And I used to listen to him talk about it, and I love that brother. He's a wonderful brother. And I just used to be like, man, that I would believe that if it was me. He was a strong brother, man. Their relationship eventually they would separate. But,
but see, what made him attracted to her? What made him want to be with her? Was it the fact that she was stripping?
Well,
and she had a decent body.
Based on what I remember, because this was a while ago, she was very for him. If he needed something, she had it. You know, she would.
Just making that money.
You know, she was. It was a real mutual relationship, and then it just kind of fizzled out after some time.
He liked that lifestyle, getting that money every night and things like that. And I need help. My water bill came in, my silk coat. I need help, and she was right there helping him. You know what I'm saying? But basing it off of that, is almost the same as a dude or a female a gold digger. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, I'm not saying that was his point, but
well, it was mutual. They were doing that kind of thing for each other, and I think that I don't know, man. I think it'd just be too damn hard for me.
you got somebody looking at your female, and then did she continue on being a stripper after they got together?
This was some years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing now, but she definitely was the BBL.
You got to be comfortable with somebody looking at your woman, like on a more intimate level. You know what I'm saying? You
And
got
that's
to be
really
comfortable.
why I don't go through my wife's phone, because she's fine. And I know people be in their inboxes and stuff. Sometimes she be like, this guy tried to talk to me, and I just curved. I just was like, and she tell me like, but
Dudes have a weird way of talking to females nowadays. They approach a female like in the club like, let me eat your pussy or let me lick your ass. You know what I'm saying?
they
Now it's
trying
the
to
point where
get
like,
straight
look at
to
your
it.
ass. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's real weird how dudes like, and I heard like in bigger cities, like you could be talking to a girl like, man, what's your sign? And she'd be like, stop. Is you spinning or not? You know what I'm saying? So they real get to the point now too. In bigger cities, and like, you know what I'm saying, you gonna spin or what? So it's just, I don't know. This the music and stuff like that has really amped this up to be
true, man.
that type of level here.
It's so true. This music, man, and I ain't gonna front and say I don't listen to it, because some of it, I like a good headbanger, you know. But to say I heard, like, because nobody consciously does this, but you heard Future say something in a song, and now you're doing it. First of all, that's Future. He's rich. You're Donnie from Shells on the Village Green.
Right.
You're not gonna get the same outcome, big dog.
Right.
So, and not to say that I don't even know how to go from there, but we're supposed to be adults, and we're supposed to have a certain level of understanding that the things we watch in these movies and see and hear in these songs is not real life. You know. And I think it's crazy because you really went up to a woman and said, I'm just trying to do such and such and such and what. How much higher would your rate of success be, quote unquote, if you, like my dad? Let me tell you something about my dad. That man is in his 50s. He could go to Walmart right now and talk his way into some. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
like,
yeah.
A lot of brothers don't have that. I guess the word is game. They can't. It's not in them because low key they're really scared and afraid for real. So they think if they just get straight to the point, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, if I get straight to the point, it'll just happen. Or eventually somebody will say yes, but who's gonna say yes? Somebody with some self-respect that don't have an STD is gonna say yes.
Yeah, I mean, we live in that type of society where, like, you know, you see videos, you can just log on your phone and punch in the website, and then you can see it's instant gratification. You feel what I'm saying? You get straight to it. But like you said, and then with your dad, as far as charming a woman and, you know, maybe complimenting her and stuff like that. Yeah,
Niggas don't have charm, man.
Yeah.
We're charmless, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not an attractive man. I'm an okay looking guy. Charm will get you every time.
Get you every time.
I remember as a kid, I used to see women with ugly guys, bigger guys, you know. And she could
how'd that happen?
because the Negro had charm or money
charm.
or some combination of charm and money. I think we're just
Biggie was like that. You know what I'm saying?
Biggie, man, brother.
Big. He was like saying, in his opinion, big, ugly. You know what I'm saying? But he had charm. He landed Faith. You know what I'm saying? Faith Evans.
And a lot of brothers, man, that don't. Just that lack of fathers, man. We had a lot of brothers had a father or an uncle that showed them like this is what you do.
Yeah.
And a lot of brothers, man, we don't have access to a lot of that now.
Or comedy. You gotta, making a female laugh. Like you can.
Being funny,
Yeah.
is one of the easiest ways to get in, man.
Yeah.
Be funny, because brothers don't realize women are tied to their emotions.
Wow. Okay.
Women are tied to their
I'm
emotions.
gonna start telling jokes.
They're tied to their emotions,
Wow,
bro.
yeah.
So we look at, you tell me a joke, I'm laughing, haha. It's just a joke because I'm not tied to my emotions. It didn't mean anything. It was just a joke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, a woman who's tied to her emotions, you made her laugh, that meant something. It means something that you made her laugh. It's not little to her because it was an emotion, and women are tied to their emotions.
Yeah.
So I think, man,
that's crazy. Yeah. So like me personally, I think like is going back to the topic as far as when you should leave and things like that. I just feel like you have to do your research. You have to see if this girl's gonna be the perfect girl for you and things like that. Do I think you should be quick to leave? No, but at the same time, you have to be smart about it, because even though you have your morals and values and things like that, she may not have the morals and values. You kind of knew that when you got with her, but it didn't matter because it's like, oh, like you said, she got a fatty. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
You have to be smart about it, man, and know when it's time to get up and say this isn't working. You know what I'm saying? We tried it, we did different things, and it's just not working. You know, getting comfortable is one of the biggest things I think happens when you get in a relationship. Either whether it's not doing the things you're supposed to be doing, or even what got you in the beginning. What got the woman in the beginning? Are you still doing those things, or now that you feel like you have her, I ain't gotta do that no more?
Right.
But I guarantee you, somebody gonna come up after you and be like, "Yo, I'm trying to do this thing." You know what I'm saying? Like, guys are very, like, okay, I was on a quote unquote dinner date yesterday, and she had mentioned to me, like, this guy was watching her the whole night, to a point where she had to go find out, like, who are you? Why are you watching me like that? You know what I'm saying? So guys are very, like, they don't care anymore. You feel what I'm saying? It was a point where, like, oh, you got a boyfriend? Oh, okay. That don't matter. Oh, you got a husband? Oh, okay. That don't matter anymore to guys. Guys are just like very, like, as a matter of fact, I'm finna, just highlight or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Try my chances. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's a big problem too. You know, if I'm always been the type of person, because it's so many people, it's so many fish in the sea. If you tell me that you got a boyfriend or a serious boyfriend, a husband, that's gonna stop me in my tracks. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, well, y'all, do what y'all do, work it out. Guys, like, man, I don't care. Like, you got extra time for me? Right. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
And it's so cold because we live in a self-love society. You love yourself so much that you're going to disrespect your brother by trying to deal with his wife.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You don't got no self-love. These are just words and talking points for real, man.
That was real disrespectful. Like, I keep going back and forth. Like, that's real disrespectful. Like, why would you sit there and watch somebody that I'm with all night? You know what I'm saying? You could have maybe tried to catch on the rebound. Oh, okay, I got, I look at her a couple of times. There's a few females I looked at. I was like, but not to a point where they was like, dang, why is he looking at me all night? I'm not finna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, guys don't care anymore.
They don't care, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't give a damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I just think that if you're going to leave, then, make sure it's the right thing to do. You don't want to leave and mess something up and then try to come back, because it might not always be the same when you get back. That situation. Make sure that it's the right thing to do. Like, I got to get up out this ship. Now, if she cheating on you, which is a lot goes on today, if she cheating on you, yeah, you should probably try to get a relationship, because at that point, because women cheat with emotions. I don't know if it's like that anymore. I know it used to be. But I know they cheat with emotions. So if she's cheating on somebody else, she took her emotions from you and gave it to that person.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we live in these female rappers these days, and I know we got to break it up here pretty soon. But a lot of these female rappers, they're saying these things, and not to sound a certain way. According to what I've seen in my life, women tend to be very swayable.
What did I say? It's strength in numbers.
It's, man.
So if you got a female rapper saying it, that's confirmation.
Yep.
Your friend saying it, that's confirmation. I don't know if I should really cheat. Well, what old girl saying her rap? Da 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 da. Right. Oh damn! What my friend say? Da 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 da. Okay, yeah, it's cool to cheat.
You know what I think about all the time? What's that song Beyonce had? To the left.
To the left, to the left.
But didn't leave Jay-Z when he cheated on it.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, they see that to the left.
Yeah.
They'll sing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
And they'll commit that act if their husband cheats. They'll leave. But Beyonce didn't leave when her husband cheated. I mean, he's a millionaire, a billionaire?
Yeah, probably a billionaire, yeah.
I get it.
The industry,
But-
they promote that type of music. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't write that song. Maybe Neo. I think Neo wrote that song.
Really?
Yeah, Neo writes a lot of her
Crazy
music.
that you knew that. I did not know
Neo
that.
wrote that song. So
Now that you say that,
you
it
listen to the sound
sounds
like yeah,
Neo.
that's just Neo.
Oh my!
He did a lot of her and Rihanna songs. So he's sitting back in the studio like, oh, let me write this song for these females. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So that's not
crazy.
how they really feel, but that's what they sang it.